Hi, welcome to Beef Cattle Institute's Ask the Experts, where our experts will answer your questions. I'm Brad White, and with me today is Dr. Philip Lancaster, a nutritionist here at Kansas State,
Hi, Brad.
and Dr. Dustin Pendle, a ag economist here at Kansas State as well.
Hello, Brad.
So on this program, what we'll do is our experts will answer your questions. So if you have a question you'd like to send us, you can email us at bci@ksu.edu. And after I ask each of them the question, they'll have a chance to respond, and they can get up to 10 points for each question. So let's dive right in today with our listener question. And this question is, I keep hearing about sustainability in the beef industry. What does that mean? And Philip, I'm going to go to you first.
Well, that's an interesting question because it's fairly subjective that what people think sustainability is and what it means and how to achieve it, because we have a difficult time measuring it. But there are three pillars or three parts of it that people generally agree on: that there's an environmental component, an economic component, and a social component. Or you may have heard it as people, planet, profit. And then it's so in the beef industry, how do we try to achieve that is by focusing on the environmental components of our industry, which are mainly land use, water quality, things like that, whether ranches are making a profit, and then whether we're providing a quality food product for society.
Absolutely. Good response there, Philip. And Dustin?
Yeah, I mean, as Philip pointed out, I think it's a pretty big question. I mean, it depends on who you talk to also, I think, on how you define it. He mentioned the three pillars. When I hear a lot about the environment, and although as an economist, I tend to think more about the profitability, that we can't forget about, being sustainable from a profitability standpoint. And so for me, sustainability, yes, you've got the environment. We've got to sustain all that. There is a social component, I think, as Philip talked about as well. But again, being the economist, you have to come back to that dollars and cents. You have to be able to sustain that profitability so that you can continue doing it.
Okay. So Philip's got a slight lead off the initial answer, listing all three areas and giving us a great definition of what those could mean with 8 points. Dustin got 7 on his first go. Philip, I'm going to refine the question and say, okay, so with this information, this is all still a high level. What do I do as a cow-calf producer?
Well, so I think the things to focus on, the number one thing to focus on as a cow-calf producer is your land and land management and forage, grazing plan, those kind of things, because all of those things are affecting the quality of the soil health, the water quality, air quality, all of those kind of environmental things. So that's a big component from the cow-calf's perspective on the environmental side. From the economic side, obviously trying to make a profit, but then also part of that, I think, is the generational transfer or plan there. And then from the social side, the cow-calf producer is the one converting the non-edible forage into high-quality edible beef. And so that's a big component of the social side or food security component of sustainability.
Excellent. Dustin?
Wow, he pretty much covered everything in that response. And I think he did an outstanding job there. And I don't know that I have a lot more to add. I think I'll just admit defeat to this. No, I think me as an individual producer, it comes back. I agree with the land component, because it talks about forage. You can talk about your soil. That also has an impact on profitability, allows you stocking rates, stuff like that. And then, of course, you've got the social component of that as well. So, yeah, no, I'm just going to admit defeat right now.
Yeah. So Philip had great answers, ran over time, but had great answers.
He went way over time.
Way over time.
So I think that almost might be a negative. So I might be able to sneak in just because of he went over.
I mean, no, I checked with the judges. Oh. They said no. So sorry about that. Philip, though, great answers. And I do think it's important because I think sustainability too often is such a big topic that we don't break it down and do feel like there's anything we can do. The U.S. Roundtable for Sustainable Beef is a good one to look into. You've been our representative on that, so I think that's where you have some of that good information. As always, we appreciate you joining us. And if you have questions you'd like us to answer, send us an email at bci@ksu.edu.